Hey guys, it's Sierra. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me. It was requested by a couple of you, so I decided I would film that for you today. This look is going to be something that I do basically every single day when I'm getting ready for school, and I will be showing you that with the products that I use every single day. And yeah, let's just jump right in. I have super oily skin, so I have a couple tricks that I will show you that I do to maintain my oil, to keep it under control. So to start out, I use the Rimmel London Stay Matte Makeup Primer. It also has a tacky finish once it's all rubbed into the skin. I like to put makeup on my neck as well because I feel as though once I add my bronzer, my face and my neck can look two different colors. And no one wants to look like they're wearing a mask. So once that's all rubbed in the skin and it feels tacky, I go in with a different primer for my nose. I have a lot of problems on my nose when it comes to keeping my makeup on all day. I get oily right here, and then if I rub my nose a lot or I'm just having a really bad day, it's really humid outside, the makeup will start coming off. So what I like to do is use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. It is the best eyeshadow primer I've ever tried. It looks like this. Put most of the product on the sides of my nose where I know it will come off the most. Obviously I wear glasses, so the makeup likes to come off. It likes to come off a lot right here where my cheekbone is and from my glasses sitting. So I put just a little bit there, not too much. Just a little bitty drop. I'm going to add some right where the nose of the glasses sits. Now this won't keep it from coming off at all. It just minimizes the amount of makeup that comes off. I've already wet my beauty sponge, so I'll be trying a new one today. It's called the Real Techniques by Sam and Nick. It's their Bold Metals collection. It's already wet into their full size. So to go in with foundation, I'm going to be using the Revlon Photo Ready Instant Filter Foundation. I really like this one because it is so full coverage. I don't like this applicator. That's one thing I think that is kind of irrelevant about it. So what I like to do is I turn it on its side and get some of the product out, and then I just paint it on like this. I like to use about 2 layers of this just to get as much coverage as possible. Oh, that was a lot on my forehead. And I don't put product directly on my nose, again, so it doesn't cake up or anything like that. I'm going to use the big flat side and blend that in. I like this sponge right here. I can hold it and use it. I don't press really hard whenever I'm doing this. I like to keep it in bouncing motions. Put it on my ears again so we blend together. And then after I blend all the product that I put on my face, after it's all blended in my skin, then I go over my nose and use whatever's left on the sponge to put foundation on. I do press into the sides of my nose just to make sure there's no unevenness. And now I'll go in with my second layer just to get as much coverage as possible. Again, I'm going to go over my nose with whatever product is left over. I think I'm going to go in with the pointy end just to really blend it all in on my nose. So after foundation, I go in with concealer. Today we'll be going in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light Neutral 15. I really like this. People compare it a lot of the time to Tarte Shape Tape. I would agree with that it is a very good comparison. I don't think it's as thick as that. So I put it starting in the corners of my eyes, and I bring it out, and then I kind of make the triangle shape. And then I take it on the side of my nose and blend down. That's what I do. I do that on both sides. Then I'll take it and I'll go in the center of my forehead, like this. Go down the bridge of my nose, my chin, and then I spot conceal. I am very, very, very self-conscious of the little scar spots that poke through my foundation, and I like to cover those as best as possible. So that's when I go in with concealer. And then I just blend in, starting with the eyes, and I'll use the pointy end of this. Now since I do put a lot under my eyes, I like to take whatever's left over and put it on my lid. I don't like the veiny eyelids that I have. They're not as veiny as some people's, but I like to cover mine and make it all look cohesive. This is the part where you all freak out about how much powder I use. I recently got a powder puff from Danielle Creation. So now I'm going to take my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder, and it is the translucent extra coverage one. And I like to shake it down so some of the product gets down. And this powder, while it is one of my favorites, it gets everywhere. So I like to make sure it all gets in the middle and open it very carefully. And then it gets everywhere. It's great, yeah. Wow, I picked a great day to wear leggings. Okay, this is what it looks like. Everyone knows it smells like grandma. So I'm just going to take this, and I start with my eyes, and I get a whole lot of powder, and I press it into my skin. I put a lot, so I put this literally everywhere. I like to put a lot on my nose as well, because like I said, the nose is a problem issue for me with my makeup coming off. So I just bake my whole face. So while that's baking, I leave that on for as long as possible, because the longer you leave it on, the longer your makeup will last. Now I like to do my eyebrows. This is not a high-end or fancy or name brand eyebrow pencil. This is Sourmet Natural Defiant Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Blonde. That's all it is. I don't do too much on my eyebrows because I like to think that they have a nice shape on their own. I do like to darken them up because I feel like all the product we just put on lightens them up, and I like, not bold, but I like them to be seen. I like them to be darker than what they are, if that makes any sense. Everyone says to go in short motions. I just get in there. I press decently hard. I'm not so light that it takes forever to do one brow, but I'm not like digging into my skin. I don't do the front part of my brow, like right here. I don't do this part just because I like that to be more feathered. So I kind of just go with the natural shape of my brow, and I take my favorite little spoolie. It literally is called spoolie. I like to comb through and make sure that there's no harsh spots or anything like that. So then when it comes to the hairs right here that stick straight up, all I do is whisk it upward, like so. And it may look a little messy at first, and that's when spoolie. I go with the direction of the hairs, and whichever way they go, that's the way that I spoolie. And that's my brow. Now look at that, compared to that. This eyebrow over here, trash. So now that the brows are done, I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. I'm going to take whatever's left on this powder puff and just kind of put some powder on my eyelid. And now that my eyelids are primed. Some days when I'm going in with a bolder eye look, I will use this eyeshadow primer, but today and every day I just do soft eyeshadow looks, so it's not really needed. So what I use every single day is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette, and this is what it looks like. You can see she's been through it. She's been through it. And I just stick to 4 shades. That's it. I'm simple sometimes. For my couple brushes, for my favorite TV show, this is the Ipsy L34 Blend Beauty brush. I like this brush. I like the shape of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this color right here. And there's no fallout with these shadows when it comes to in the pan. Depending on how much product you put on your brush, depends on if there'll be fallout or not. When I do it, I don't have any fallout. That's why I love this, because it's quick and easy. So I just put my brush in, tap it off just a little bit, and then I focus this in the crease, and I kind of go towards the brow bone, but I don't touch the brow. Like this. It's very light, you can almost barely see it. And it kind of just gives some life back to your eye. Now with these 4 colors, they are all very, very similar in tone. I feel like they go up a scale. So I just like to build up my crease and build up my eye with them to give a nice natural, nothing about this right now is natural. And then I'll go in one more time, putting product on the brush, tapping it off. And I don't go any higher or anything, I just stay where I was, just to build up the color some. I go back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and then also I go in circular motions just to blend that color. Alright, next I'm going to be taking this color, same brush, and building up the product on the brush. This time I'll go a little lower just so you can see the gradient of the colors. So we'll start down here in the crease and then build our way up slightly. Blending is key with this. It can be, with these shadows, it does make it very easy, but you don't want to underblend. It's better to overblend because then you can add more product. Next I'm going to be taking a different brush. Alright, I'm going to be taking this Luxie 249 brush. I'm going to be using the fluffy end just because compared to the Ipsy brush, it is smaller. As you can see. We're going to go in with the darkest brown in the palette and put all the product. We're going to focus it on the very end instead of coating the whole brush. What I like to do with this color is put it just on the outer V. I take it into the crease some just to define it, but I don't bring it into the inner corners when I do this. Sometimes I'll go back in with this Ipsy brush and with no extra product and just blend. Like I said, you want it to look seamless and like a gradient. After we've gone in with the browns, I take my ring finger and I go in with the lightest matte shade, and I put that on the inner part of my eye, like so, just to brighten it up some. And I'm not precise with this or anything because I'm going to be going in with one other shadow. So you can see that it just kind of brightens the inner eye. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow Ultra Glitter in the shade I Heart This. And I also take this color. It's very, very pretty. Take this one on my finger as well. And then I put it in the same spot I put that light color. I don't go to the outer corner, just in the inner part. And that's about it for my eyeshadow. We'll go in on the lower lash line after I wipe away my bake. So then I take this Eco Tools Define brush. It's very fluffy, kind of comes to a taper. I use it just to wipe away my bake, and I kind of blend it in. I'm pushing as I'm rubbing into the skin. You'll see my face does look a little dry from all the powder, but that is what setting sprays are for. They bring your skin back to life, especially the ones I'm going to show you a little bit later on. So after I do that, I'll go back in with this eyeshadow palette. And the first brush we use, this Ipsy brush over here. And I go in with just the first shade. Tap it off, and I just run that under my lash line. Nothing neat about it. The only thing I will say, if you do decide to use one of these brushes instead of a pencil brush, keep the product on the tip instead of all around the brush, because then you have it on your cheekbones, you have it everywhere you don't want it. I'm going to take this brush. It was in the same set as the spoolie. You can see it's a lot smaller fluffy brush. It's called Crease. I got this one at Target as well. And we're going to go in with the darkest shade that we use, tap off any extra, and we're going to try and keep it just on the outer part of the lower lash line. And that's all for my eyeshadow. I think it's very pretty. I think it's very simple. Next, I'm going to go in with bronzer. I'm going to go in with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. And I'm going to take it on my favorite brush. I've used quite a few bronzing brushes, but the e.l.f. complexion brush has been my favorite. You can see that it's tapered and it comes kind of to a point, so you can really get in there. And I like to cake my brush with product. I love being bronzed, and you'll see I get a lot. So I tap off the excess, and then it's not as much. And then I'm going to start at the center of my cheekbone, and then kind of, what am I even saying? I like to kind of show my cheekbone with my mouth and go like this. And then I also like to bring it in my hairline again, so everything blends together and we don't have any harsh lines. And now you'll see that there's no product left on the brush. And now all I'm doing is blending it out, trying to make it look as natural as possible. I go in with about 2 layers of this, not as much on the second layer because I don't want to look too tan. And then we're going to do our forehead. Also get that in the hairline as well. And then I bring a little bit down my neck, just so we're blended. If you can't tell, I like to be blended. I've only said blended 100 times. Go in with a little bit more. This time I'm going to keep it just on one side of the brush and not this one, just so I can hit my skin one more time with this. Do it once more on my forehead. Some days, if I'm feeling a little wild, I will go in with my Aesthetica Contour Series powder. I'll go in with this Real Techniques by Sam and Nick Duo Fiber Contour Brush, and I'm mostly going with this middle shade. Sometimes I'll tap into this one, and I'll tap it off, and I make the fish face, and I really go in on my cheekbones, and I'll show you how. And then once I create my line, I blend it up. If you bring it down, you look muddy, you look not good. That's not good. And then I like to start at my ear line, and I drag it towards my mouth. I stop about here. I don't like it to go all the way to my mouth. I don't like to be that, and there's the cheeks. And then we'll do this one, and we'll go close to the hairline this time. And then I like to do my jaw very lightly. Just to define your jaw, and so that way the top of your face isn't bronzed and then the bottom just is pale and not cohesive. Cohesive and blending, those are the words. Those are the words of the night. Now for my nose, I'm not the best at this. Today we're gonna go in with this Royal and Langnickel Precision Angle Brush. We're going to use that today. I'm going to put it on one side of the brush, and I'm basically just going to follow the line of my nose instead of trying to create like a different shaped nose. And then I also bring it into my bone right here. And using the other side, I'm going to blend it out. Do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take the Real Techniques by Sam and Nick brush. It's a duo fiber face brush. It also came with the contour brush that I just used. And so these came in a set. I'm going just to blend it out. There's no product on this brush or anything, just to make sure everything is blended together. Now I want to go in with blush. Now today for blush we're going to use the Milani Romantic Rose blush in the shade 1. I really like this blush. I don't like big bright blushes or really dark ones. I just like ones that kind of make the skin, give it some more life, you know? So I'm going to tap off all the excess, and what I do is I kind of smile and I press it right here, and then I start blending into my bronzer and my contour. So why? Because we want it all to blend. And I just comparing the sides, I feel like this one just looks more alive, if that makes any sense to anyone. So I like to use the stippling motions and also the blending, the circular motions. I go back in, do the other side, and that's all I do for blush. Now my skin has all these powders on it, and it's clinging onto the powders. So I'm going to go in with my MAC Fix Plus in the scent Coconut and just drench my skin in this. I feel like this melts all the powders together. And I just fan my face. And while that is drying, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner. Now I use the Infallible Matte Mechanical Eyeliner from L'Oreal. This eyeliner has honestly changed my life. Is that even possible? You know those eyeliners that they just get all black in the corner after like 2 hours, and they get all the black over here, and you just have none in your waterline anymore? Not this one. This one is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tight line on the top and do my waterline, and I'll be right back. And we have eyeliner. So now that we have our eyeliner, I'm going to finish up my face. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. This highlighter honestly makes your skin look wet in the best way possible. I'm going to be taking my Morphe M510 brush to highlight. And what I'm going to do is coat my brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to spray it with my Fix Plus. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? You see that? Oh. I'm just going to focus it on the tops of my cheekbones. And we're just going to go a little bit more. Because why not? You ready? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to take some on the tip of my nose. You see that? You see that, right? I'm going to take some on my finger. Bridge of my nose. I'm going to take this Wet n Wild brush and I'm going to blend that out just a little bit. Why? So it's all cohesive. And I'm going to take some and put some on my Cupid's bow. My skin is highlighted. Now I like to go in with the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. Because my skin is so oily, I kid you not, I used only the MAC Fix Plus one day. I forgot to go in with my matte setting spray. My makeup was melting off my skin. You go like this, and it's just gone. It's gone. It just melted off. So we're going to drench ourselves in this now. Okay. So since I physically cannot put on lashes to save my freaking life, we're going to move on to mascara. So for mascara, I use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. A lot of people say it's a dupe for the Better Than Sex mascara. I would say it's better. going to add Lorac Los Angeles Alter Ego Lip Gloss in the shade Barista. I don't like a lot of this. I like a very, very light layer. So that is the finished look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Before I leave, I want to say thank you so much for everyone who commented, liked, and subscribed to my channel with my last video. I really did not expect to have that many views in just 24 hours, so I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed my everyday makeup look. It was a lot of fun to film for you guys, a lot of fun to show you what I do every single day. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see next, and hope to see you guys next time. Bye! I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. So I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus the sides of my nose. That sounds disgusting. Had to get the box. Ew. Freaking hair on my face. No one cares here. I recently got a Powerpuff. Powerpuff? What? No. No. Hey, Grandma. If this is drag makeup, then I'm a drag queen. Wow. I look ridiculous. She's stunning. Why did I say that? I don't say that. Now, back in my day, I've used quite a couple, and I'm looking at myself again. I sound like I am the poop. I feel like this melts all the powders together. Oh. Ew. So now that our like you go like this. Oh. Look at my nose. What? No one does that. Okay. Here I go.